once again, I'm playing the Saxons. I've got Aelle's Saxons. It's a 300-point Saxon army taken straight out of the book. These are the West Saxons who are trying to invade Artos' territory of Dumnonia. They're currently in the borderlands. They're near Cleaver, in a marshy area where there's a bit of a brook running across, which I'm sure is soon going to be running with Saxon and British blood. The army's a standard 300-point army, and essentially both sides are on a hill, and we're going to see what the brook does and who can be victorious at the end of it. Arthur's force is over the other side of the hill. It's a fairly Romanised British force using Tom's lovely late Roman collection from Footsore Miniatures. Oh my word, well, Hussar, one of my level 2 Saxon Thanes, issued a challenge, confident of victory. He gets 2 dice for being level 2. He gets another dice for having Battle Smiter. He put in both his mighty deeds to get 5 dice, fighting the lowly Boars, who's level 1, a Battle Smiter, and put his only mighty deed in. And what's happened? Hussar has missed with every single dice. He hasn't even got a 1 that he can re-roll. Boars has absolutely slapped him around the head with his spear. Fortunately, Hussar is armour 4, so he's only going to lose a point of stamina. If he'd been armour 3, his head would have been off with 1 blow, and all power to Boars. Let's see if we can turn it around next round. And finally, on round 3, Hussar has done Boars over. He managed to roll a 6. Hussar has got no hits and only having 1 wound. Boars has only got 1 wound and he's down. He is now food for ravens, and Hussar, somewhat blooded, limps back to his contingent. Well, Bedivere. It's a bad tale. He's been shot at by 2 Saxon units of archers, or rather his unit has. They've only taken a couple of hits, but when his unit takes any hits, he has to roll the Risk to Heroes dice, which we have a special Raven dice for. It only hurts if you roll a 1, if you roll a Raven, but he's actually just done that twice in a row. He's done it once. He re-rolled it by spending a mighty deed and losing a point of reputation. He's still got a Raven, so the first arrow wounded him. Then we shot again. He's out of mighty deeds, and he was hit again. So with 2 wounds, he's dead. Well, my Saxons have advanced forwards to the stream. We thought we were in for a bit of trouble because the Romano-British have got way more missiles than we have, but actually we've come out on top with the shooting, so far so good.
The late Romans advanced cautiously to the top of the hill to just get the Saxons in bow range, make them come up the hill and weather a storm of fire. However, the storm of fire was more of a damp mizzle of fire and did absolutely nothing. And even worse, the small amount of Saxon shooting managed to kill one of the heroes, leaving me commanderless in the centre of my line.
Well, the stream is proving extremely steep and difficult. We've had lots of troops failing their command test to cross it because it's counted as a barrier in the game. They're coming across, but I think the Saxons have been quite lucky here. They haven't been hammered by the bow fire like they thought they might be, because there are no mighty deeds remaining on this side at the moment. So we need to restock for next turn and then get the charges in.
And largely, the Artos has kept his men up at the top of the hill, just deciding that a defensive position with his big shields is the best place to be. Pushed forward some skirmishers who failed to do anything to their opposite numbers. And now we kind of await the Saxon onslaught.
another single combat, and Anfrith of the Saxons has taken down Derfel. Derfel not quite as mighty as he is in the Burn of Cornwall, but he is food for ravens. He has wounded Anfrith, but the Arthurians are down now to a single leader, Artos. Can he save the day? So, end of turn 3. The Saxons are now surging across the stream. A couple of units have got stuck behind, but the Britons are being pushed back here, although the Saxon charge up the bank here has been met with fierce resistance and they've taken heavy losses. So really, if the Saxons are going to win, it needs to be over here on the Britons' right, I think.
So yes, over here, despite the death of Derfel in the combat, his unit did him proud in the aftermath and held off the Saxon advance, pushing unit down to half strength. Then the skirmishers chipped in and their support is also down to half strength. So this flank looks relatively secure. Different story over here though, with the Saxon heathens pushing across the river and driving us back on the hill. Artos is probably going to have to get involved fairly soon.
Well, at the end of turn 4, it's all hotting up. We've broken through here to the Pedites, the armour 2 soft underbelly of the Romans. Anfrith, incredibly, with a unit with only a few models left, has managed to fight off his attackers and destroy them and is now seeking vengeance up there and has just survived a round of javelin fire. But can he take 3 units of Pedites? Probably not. Moving along the line, it's all going on. Aelle is not involved in the combat yet. There's casualties on both sides, multiple units down to half strength here. Osric has charged Arthur and has been pushed off the hill by him, but his unit again is on its last legs. Can the Saxons get that vital breakthrough?
So Arthur here, pushing forward, holding the flank, driving back, hoping to gain some reputation by killing Osric and bolstering his forces here. However, his centre is getting driven back. The worry is the Saxon warlord is about to crash home, and somehow or other, Infrith is hanging on here despite having everything thrown at him.
Well, Osric has challenged Artos to single combat. The first round went pretty well with them drawing, gaining reputation. Round 2, though, Artos's blue dice have finally come up trumps. It's farewell, Osric. Right, end of turn 5. It's neck and neck. The Saxons have 4 reputation left in their goblets. The Britons have got 6. So it's all down to the last turn. The British line here is holding firm on the hill, but there's a couple of meaty heroes about to charge in. Artos has killed everyone on his flank, but can he capitalise? It's all going to come down to the last round.
So yes, I'm desperately hoping that the hastily formed militia here, with their badly painted shields, can hang on top of this hill. Although with a rampaging barbarian bearing down on them, it's not looking that hopeful. Meanwhile, My king over here has done great service in dispatching Saxons on this hillside, but it may not be enough.
However, we've got our chocolate hobnobs. We're going to eat one of these and see if it supercharges Aelle's quest to break Artos' men on the hill. Here we go again. Hussar, the mighty victor of the single combat at the start, killer of boars, has now been laid low by Artos. Artos has finally come to life in the closing stages of this battle, I think it is fair to say. Farewell, Hussar. End of turn 6, night is falling, as you can see, and, well, we have Saxons in disarray over here. The Britons still holding the hill. Aelle's punched through the centre of the line, but hasn't really got there yet, and Artos and his men over here have destroyed the last of the Saxons with some bowfire and javelin throwing. Let's have a look at the goblets. The Saxons have only 1 point of reputation left, very, very close to breaking. The Britons, however, have 7. So they hold the hill and have won the game and repelled the Saxon advance into Caliva.